And sticking in Holyoke now, a man arrested yesterday, after police connected him with a carjacking. A Holyoke detective was on his way home when he saw a vehicle involving a carjacking earlier in the day. Officers attempting to pull over the car and that driver, now identified as 18-year-old Yandel Jimenez, as they refused to stop. Jimenez crashing into several U-Haul trucks that were parked at the corner of Essex and Nick Cosmos. He was eventually stopped on Newton Street, where he was taken into custody. Jimenez is now facing carjacking and gun-related charges.